Well, all right. We are live with episode 5 with my good friend, Miss Keva Sturdevant. But before I get into this show, ladies and gentlemen, this show is important. You're going to want to go get your family members, go get your uncles, go get your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your mama, your daddy. Go get everybody in the family, even your friends. And I want you all to tune into tonight's show. And if you cannot catch it, please make sure you hit the replay because tonight's information is going to be powerful. We've actually structured it just for you. And so the Brentley Wright Leadership Podcast is centered on one thing: leaving you better than we found you. That is my mission. That is the whole mission and goal of the podcast. We don't bring leaders on who are not generous and who do not want to leave the next generation better off than they started. And we, as a younger generation, want to help them in and finish well. So let me get into a bio right quick because I actually have to read this for my guest. And I know you're going to love it. So give me a second here. Give me some time. Miss Sturdevant has 28 years experience in the investment and money management arena, managing money for individuals, families, corporations, endowments, nonprofits, and she has several corporate financial positions with Hughes Capital Management, Merrill Lynch, and Morgan Stanley. She has areas of expertise in the area of wealth creation, risk management, which I say all of life is about risk management, asset protection, personal financial planning, and estate planning. Woo! After a successful career in the corporate world in 2008, Ms. Keva had the opportunity to teach HBCUs. And if you don't know, historically black college universities, if you don't know, now you know. She had a chance to teach HBCUs as a financial educator and society with the Society for Financial Education and Professional Development to date, listen to this, you all. Keva has taught over 45 HBCUs across the country, reaching over 20,000 students. She currently runs her own financial planning practice, Sturdevant Investment Counseling Consulting, a full-service financial planning firm. And also, she has been quoted in the Washington Times, and she is a sought-after public speaker on all things money, saving, budgeting, wealth creation, and she gives back to the community. This lady has it going on. Please welcome to the show my friend, colleague in the financial industry, servant leader, financial planner, coach, as well as entrepreneur, Miss Keva Sturdevant. How you doing today?
Brentley, thank you. Good evening. Thank you for that kind introduction. Thank you for that. I tell you, you're making me feel old.
Oh,
I have been at this for a long time.
Yes, you have. Keva, I want to start out about a story when I first met you.
Yes.
So we were both doing a conference, a financial conference with Jay Cameron. You remember that?
I remember.
Maryland. I can't remember the year. It was a few years ago. And I was on stage. I was talking about money. And then I come off stage and you're in the back and you're very the most professional. And you were just sitting and you were listening. And you came to me, Keva, and you said that you were proud of me. And you told me to continue to go strong because we needed individuals like myself. And then you got up and then you talked about money and you talked about finance and you had a passion for it. And I knew right then and there, I said, she loves and she cares about people. So it was inevitable that you and I would stay connected. Since then, we've done podcasts together. Since then, we've just been just supporters of one another. So I'm so proud to have you on the show tonight. I hope your career continues to move forward. And so I look forward to digging into your life tonight. So with that being said, before we get started too, Keva, congratulations on your engagement.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I mean, I'll be a hand model tonight if I need to.
Yes. I'm all that show because Queen Madness is on right now. So, Keva, in the toughest industry that we have going on right now, the finance industry is very, very tough. It's actually tough to build a career out of it. But you know what? When you do is something special. Did you expect to create a career advising people on their financial navigation? Did you expect to be doing this at this point?
You know what, Brentley? That is a great question. And I really gave that question some thought. I'm going to share something a little bit with your listeners because when you get a certain age, you got stories, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
When I was a kid, you know what I asked for Christmas every Christmas?
What's that?
A calculator and a cash register.
What?
I loved calculating things as a kid. How crazy is that? I loved numbers. I was a geek. I was a nerd. Yeah. And so I knew I would be doing something with numbers. But what really, really catapulted me into the financial world were two female business owners, money managers, financial planners. Okay. Those individuals in Washington, D.C. I came to D.C. in 1986. I was 21 years old. Okay. And that's when my career started.
You said 86?
In 86.
I was born in 85.
See, I'm passing the baton on to you at some point.
Yes, please do. So you had two female, beautiful leaders.
Yes.
Pull you into this industry. Can you talk a little bit more about them?
Absolutely. So it was really interesting, the dynamic of that. So I initially worked for a financial planner who, were you reading my bio, I had all that experience in endowments and money and nonprofits and wealthy individuals. Yeah. Well, she was a financial planner that focused on that particular demographic. I was actually an analyst. So I was the one that would provide all the analysis for the stocks and the mutual funds and the holdings of the clients.
Absolutely.
And then the other part of the spectrum is the female that I work for managed money for big corporations. Okay. HBCUs, actually. Yes. And so I got the other side of it, which is more conservative, but the institutional approach. And I want to talk about that with investing. What is that institutional approach that makes the difference?
I can't wait to get into that, Keva. I can't wait to get into that. Let me ask you this question. How has advising on personal, corporate, nonprofit, and family finances shaped your view of money? And then also, what principles have you established from this 28-year run of working in the financial industry?
Yes. So the first thing that it really established for me is to always surround your money with a team. And I know that sounds very she, and you've heard me say that before, right? I don't care if you're just starting out in this money game. If you don't surround yourself with a solid financial planner, a solid CPA, and you got to have some insurance. I know that's not a word that everyone loves in this industry.
It's not sexy.
It's not sexy, but it is essential. You know, you can become your own bank. You know, that's a whole nother podcast, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So you've got to surround your money with the team because that's what the big corporations do. And so if you ever go down my Instagram or Facebook feed, you'll see I talk about surrounding your money with experts. That's how institutions, corporations, wealthy people, that's how they stay wealthy.
Yes.
They don't do it alone.
You know, it's an idea of family office, right? And
I love that. Yes.
The wealthy people think about and have created a family office, and it is that team. It is a team that's, watch this, specifically and only dedicated to them.
That's right.
That family office doesn't work for anyone else outside of that family. And so normally those offices are, 100, 200 million and up for families that are worth that. But we could take that approach. We can still take that family office approach and say, this is my team. And you may work with other clients, but this is my team.
That's right.
And getting into what you're saying is creating that team. That's powerful.
Yes. And that team should be meeting on your behalf once a year. You're in the room, you're around the table with your team. They're discussing taxes, insurance, college savings. Are you on track to retire? What does the risk look like in your portfolio? Again, when I share that, individuals think, oh, Keva, you need a lot of money to do that. No, you don't.
No.
You just have to have the right people and the right mindset around you. Yeah, I'm sure you talk about that all the time in your practice, Brentley.
Yep, and the willingness to do it.
That's right.
The willingness to do it. Let me ask you this question. Who was Keva in high school? If we were in high school together and we were hanging around, I said, I want to know, who was Keva? Who was Keva?
Keva was the nerd trying to be cool and look like she was trying to be cool. You know, I couldn't even be cool with it, Brentley. I looked like I was trying to be cool.
Yeah.
I was in this, you know, the geeky National Honor Society, you know, all honor roll, all that, right? Which is wonderful. But I wanted to be cool. Didn't we all want to be in the cool crowd?
I know I did.
You know, I was the roving reporter. You know, I ran around asking folks these silly questions. I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty just into the books. You know, as you know, parents, you had to be, you had no choice. You can't bring home no seed. A bee, you got to preach into. You really did. These bees are not acceptable. You know, TV was not turned on in my house. You know, when people talk about shows from their childhood, I'm like, I've never seen that show.
You know what? My wife has a similar story. And when you're in those books, you are here, you're focused, dedicated. Yes. And it, you know, later on in life, it does separate. It's separation. I think it's separated too.
And I'm not a TV watcher now. I watch, you know what I watch, CNBC.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I've never seen any of those shows that millions of people watch. I don't know. I don't judge people that do. TV has just never been my thing.
I got you. Now let me ask you this question, Keva. You talked about the role models in your life, right? Mm-hmm. There are times in our life where everything we know is not peachy. It's not roses. It never always goes our way. Yeah. Right. And so we, even though we know some things, life tends to throw us a left curve.
Yes.
And when it does, it gives us these moments in our life that are just, they either build us up, tear us down to build us up. Right. And so, but there are other moments in life where you can't forget. Mm-hmm. They change the actual trajectory of your life. And so what was a significant emotional event that happened in your life that put you on this trajectory today?
Yes. So another great question. In 2000, and I want to say, it was 2000 actually. I started going through a divorce. I started going through a divorce. And so I knew at that point, I would only be responsible. I'm the only one that's going to support me, right? You know, when you got a dual income household, it's a little different.
Right.
You know, and so I was just, you know, prancing through life, married, and everything was perfect. Oh, not perfect, but great, you know, no kids, you know, young, married, living life. When I went through my divorce, I really got serious. I really got serious, meaning how do I enhance, build, just what do I need to do for my career to take off? Now, I was doing great. You know, I was working for the money managers. I used to manage the stock option plan for MCI. Remember how long ago that was, MCI?
My goodness gracious, Keva.
Yeah. So, right. So when that happened, I really buttoned down, really, you know, just got to the seriousness. And I literally started writing my goals down. That was the first time I ever wrote my goals down 22 years ago. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And see, that's it's a hard thing because I grew up, you know, in a house where my parents got divorced. So just from a child, it was like, you know what you go through and you have to handle.
Yes.
So just even doing it from your level, you know, I see that it did catapult you into another direction.
It did.
I got to go to independence now. And
I got to go to independence. And let me say this, if I can just interject really quick, Brentley.
Yeah.
During that divorce, my clients know this, but I don't think I've ever said it publicly. I had cars repossessed because we had 5 cars, living above our means. You know, when I talk to my clients, I always say, everything I'm telling you not to do, I've probably done. I've lived above my means, right? I've filed bankruptcy. I've had a car repossessed. I've lost homes, investment properties. I've experienced all that, you know, because I really wasn't, you know, I always thought I just have 2 incomes in the household. And that was just the rest of my life. And then when, you know, divorce sets in or separation, all of that comes to the forefront, like, whoa, okay, I need to really focus on what am I doing here.
And the bounce back has been real. You said, and I thought about a quote that I heard: just because you can pay the bill doesn't mean you can afford it.
Yes. Yes.
That's what we do in regards to living above their means. In your experience, you just made me think about something. Why do you feel people still today, with all the financial wisdom out there, still try to live above their means?
Yes. It's several reasons, in my opinion, Brentley. And the number one reason is, I believe, because there's psychology around money. We talked about that, right? Remember that we had a show about that. People work so hard for their paycheck. They want to just do something for themselves. Now, that just something either can take you off track or keep you on track. That's the question, right? My splurge, I posted this a couple weeks ago. My splurge is buying fresh flowers for my home. Do I want to go spend tons of money at the mall? I absolutely do. Do I want a personal driver and drive a Bentley? I absolutely do. But I know that takes me so off track of where I'm trying to go. So the point is, yes, we work so hard for our money and we want to spend something on ourselves. Just be sure what it is that you're spending on yourself is keeping you on track to wealth building, keep you on track to your goals. We can have those small things that we do for ourselves, and it doesn't really rock the boat financially. That's the key.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for that, Keva. That really, really means a lot. Let me ask you this question. You've been so successful in the industry. What did you do to when you were writing your goals?
Yes.
Because there's a difference between goal setting and achieving.
Right.
What was in the middle of your plan that you said, this is going to separate me and take me to my success? How did you do that? What was that separation for you to be different?
Right. So I had some amazing mentors. And one of my mentors said to me, and I never forget it. He says, Keva, your clients as a financial advisor, financial planner should feel like your only client. When they call you, you pick up. If you can't pick up, as soon as you put that phone down, you're calling them back. So essentially making that client feel like they are your only client. Also, my mentor told me, when it comes to, how can I say, connecting with the clients, the target is the heart. The target is the mind. The bullseye is the heart. You got to connect with your clients. Understand what's important to them. Is their wedding anniversary important to them? Yes. Guess what happened when they went to check into their hotel for their anniversary? They had a selection of wine or flowers from Keva Sturdevant, Morgan Stanley. Their kid is big into baseball. I bought the bats for the team.
Oh, wow.
Compliments of Keva Sturdevant, Morgan Stanley.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's those, targeting that heart.
Yes.
What is at their core, what's important. And I needed to dial into that. Wow. That's when they paid attention to me as their advisor.
And that was your difference. That was
the differences.
I think about this industry and this business. It is highly relational. And for anyone that's transactional, especially from a financial planner perspective, because you're managing portfolios and things of that nature, you rarely get to let the client be the client or see the client or do right. And so people, I'm trying to help people understand something that are listening. When you're managing accounts, that can also become the client. And that's so right. The real client is overlooked. And so the transaction is, let me make sure the management is there, but I don't hit the bullseye. So right. If you break down the target, which is the mind of education and instruction, but the heart is the bullseye. Let me sure not only the account is taken care of, but you are taken care of, and I am taking care of you, and making sure that certain things are there. That's powerful, and that is really how you separate yourself. That's powerful.
It is. And if I could just indulge a little bit, Brentley, because my mentor taught me, again, just things that you can do. This was someone that was a multi-million-dollar, what they call producer in my industry, who had a huge book of business. Okay. Yeah. Anytime you're looking to have any kind of client acquisition, because that's what we do, of course, right? Especially for business owners, and this is for your listeners. I landed one of the biggest clients in Washington, D.C. He's still a business owner. Okay.
Yeah.
I essentially, and this isn't about me. I just want your listeners to understand this is an example of how to connect.
Yes.
I found out the date that he received his business license. He had long forgotten that. I did my research. Hoovers is a wonderful thing. I searched the date that he received his business license. I think it was like 25 years ago when I did this. I framed it. It was just a copy. Congratulations on 25 years in business. I sent it to him. He called me. He says, Keva, I forgot when I got my business license. Guess what that opened up the door to?
Come on, talk to me.
Referrals. Yes. Tons of referrals. Again, dialing into your client. Dialing into your client however you can.
Yes.
Find out what's important to them. Yes. Make them have a moment like, whoa.
Yes.
And it doesn't cost a lot to search on Hoovers and find that out and print it out and frame it and send it. It wasn't a lot of money, but the impacts.
Yes.
It's important.
Yes, absolutely.
They have to know you care.
Oh my goodness. You're dropping wisdom right now for business owners. And see, this is transferable to any industry. Transferable to the industry.
It is.
Referrals are the lifeline in life. They're the blood in your business. It's the organ and the heart of your business, because people you've actually done work for can speak better to you. It's for you on your behalf. And so that is masterful. That's a master class in itself of taking care of the client. That's powerful. And
it's someone that taught me. That's the thing. I had great mentors. Someone taught me, so it's just me paying it forward. I didn't come up with these brilliant ideas myself. I just implemented them. I can't claim them. But again,
that's it. That's it. We don't need to reinvent the wheel.
That's right.
Awesome. Let me ask you this question. Let's talk money talk.
Yes.
How would you define financial leadership?
Ooh, that's lots of layers to that question, Brentley. I think financial leadership starts in your chair, in your home with you. Yeah. How are we going to lead others as professionals, right? And how are we going to lead our home, our marriage, our children if we are not financially astute?
Yes.
To me, that's financial leadership. Now, I'm not saying that's equivalent to wealth, and you got an 800 credit score, and you have $400,000 in cash in the bank. I'm talking about habits, right? You've heard me say too, money has an energy around it.
Yes.
The more we respect our money, the more our money is going to respect us.
Right.
So that's the leadership part. I believe when it comes to, people that are going to follow you, they want to know that your stuff is together.
Yes. Yeah. My father-in-law always says that your leadership is only as strong as your discipline.
That too.
Right. Your leadership is only as strong as your discipline. So even that is transferable in everything you do as a leader. I think one of the things we have to do is always talk about or decide that we're going to lead ourselves well in any industry. And that's why I asked you how you define financial leadership, because you still have to take leadership to your own finances.
That's right. We got to sit in our own chair sometimes.
No one can lead your financial picture better than you.
That's right.
And the job of financial planners and good ones and great ones like yourself is really to challenge you, get you on track, and then just help you maintain.
Yes. I couldn't have said it better. You're exactly right.
And help you maintain. So the world is full of white noise when it comes to financial literacy.
Yes.
Money, books, experts, gurus. Who do I listen to? Is it Susie? Is it Dave? Is it any other financial person out there that I should be listening to? And then everywhere you turn, there are so many formulas, so many nuggets that people are giving.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question. Very rarely, Keva, is anyone actually sitting down and explaining what the difference is in terminology when it comes to the financial industry. For example, what is the difference of a stock, a mutual fund, an IRA, a Roth IRA, cryptocurrency, NFT, bonds,
Yes.
variable investing, compound interest, right? And indexing strategies.
Yes.
What is the difference of all of those components, and generationally, how can we understand it through your experience? So I gave you a lot, so
Yes.
you can run with that, okay?
Well, unpack it. Absolutely. No, these are great questions. I tell you, you prepare for these interviews, you make us work. You make us work. But I love it. It's for your audience, right? It's for your
Yes,
audience.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So let's go back to who do I listen to? You know, you got the Susie Ormond, you got Kramer, you've got Robert Kiyosaki. You know, locally you have Michelle Singletary, you know, in the DC area. There's so many voices out there. This is what I say to my clients. Those individuals are good for educational purposes. Okay. I'm not taking away from them, but you know me, Brentley, I need to have a sit down with my client. Just because Kramer is ringing that bell and tooting the horn, talking about buy.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, I mean, it always, I liken it to like a physician. Like if you have a particular ailment, you need a remedy too.
Yes.
You know, like you just don't go to the doctor with the biggest bullhorn saying what the resolution or solution is. Yeah. You go sit down with a physician so that physician can examine you and ask you questions to give you the right prescription. Yes. It's the same with your money. You got to have a sit down. It's got to be one-on-one. There's going to be different questions. Again, not knocking those individuals that have, you know, columns and shows and great. You know, sometimes they got something to sell you, but we're not going to say nothing about that. Right? Their solution is what they're selling you.
Absolutely.
But I'm not mad at them. I really am not.
Indeed.
Good for educational purposes. Again, going back to what we said earlier, get your team. Surround your money with a team.
Yeah. That's powerful. Can you unpack the differences in this terminology? So if someone is asking you, what is a stock? What is, because someone can say, Keva, just play devil's advocate, you need to be investing.
Right.
Put your money in the stock market, and over time, the stock market will never lose. It will never lose. And so it's going to go up and down, and people don't understand the formula that it takes, that if I put $100 in and I lose 50, I don't have to put 50 back in to get 100. I have to put 100 back in.
That's right.
Right. And so how would you just define what a stock is, mutual funds, and the different vehicles like an IRA, etc.?
I can go through those and I'll be expeditious. I know we only have an hour. So I'm going to end with stocks because I have a few examples. I'm going to start with mutual funds.
Okay.
I want your listening audience to look at a mutual fund like this. It's when a group of individuals get together, what they call professional money managers. They sit at the table and say, look, we've got $1 billion to invest. We're going to put together a bucket of investments that's going to hopefully give a certain return, and we're going to issue it to the public. That's all a mutual fund is. That's all a mutual fund is. A team of people coming together. You know, they're brilliant. You know, they're probably 10 times more brilliant than me. And they issue this particular fund. It could be stocks, bonds in it. It could be just bonds in it. It could be actually a cryptocurrency, right? It could. It can be comprised. A mutual fund there are hundreds of thousands of mutual funds out there. Something for everyone. It's just a basket of investments that a team of individuals manage. That's all it is.
And that's something.
Okay. Yep. IRA obviously is an individual retirement account. It's for your retirement. Yeah. So look at an IRA like your own 401k. You can invest in anything in your IRA. So while you're, during your working years, you probably have a 401k, a 403b, whatever you're contributing to. If you work for the government, a TSP, which is just like a 401k. Yep. That's when it's a corporate sponsorship. The numbers actually reference part of the IRS code. That's why it's 401k, 403b. If I'm speaking correctly, Brentley. I don't know everything. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right.
I'm wrong sometimes.
You're right.
Just look at it like, as long as I'm working for someone else and contributing to retirement, those are the accounts I have, 403b, 401k. But the moment I pull them out, you can't put them in your checking or savings account, right? You got to put them in an IRA. So the IRS doesn't raise up and say, oh, wait a minute, you owe us money. Yeah. So an IRA is your own personal 401k. That's as simple as I can describe it. It does the exact same thing that a 401k and a 403b is.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cryptocurrency is the new thing, right?
Yeah.
Yes. When it's like under the radar to be regulated, probably, right?
Yeah.
By the powers that be, it's something you want to take a look at. This is what I'm telling my clients, Brentley, because, I'm of a certain age. I'm very conservative with my investment portfolio. Yeah. I personally don't have cryptocurrency, but that doesn't mean you should not. Okay. Because everyone's at a different investment journey. You could be in your 20s and 30s. My clients that want to get into cryptocurrency, I said, absolutely, right? Do your research. Keep it separate from your serious money. You heard me say that before. You got your serious money with a strategy, a methodology. The team is helping you manage it.
Yes.
Don't introduce something that's unproven into that strategy.
Yes.
Keep it separate.
Yes. You see me writing down here.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Keep it separate. And here's the other thing too. There's a lot unproven with cryptocurrency. When people, and just in general, any investment, when someone tells you I did so well in it, I love to hear that. Yeah. But I also ask, tell me about your losses too. Because no one tells you about that. I'm not trying to knock, the happiness train.
Yeah.
But, we're in social media world. Everyone's I got NFTs and I make this and cryptocurrency. I had a great day. You had a great day because the market went up, not because you had a strategy.
Right.
Ouch. Right.
Yeah.
But it's the truth.
Yeah.
So anytime anyone wants to come to you and says, oh, this is so great, I won at it. Wonderful. But tell me how much you lost before you won that.
Yeah.
That will give you the real story.
Because you have to lose the game. You have to lose the game. Yes. And that's why you always talk about the serious money being separate from your play money.
Absolutely.
We can only afford to do maybe 5% of the budget in this direction. And so let's just play around. Let's see. I was listening to Steve Harvey's interview the other day on Earn Your Leisure. And he has a young guy there that, helping him invest. But he said, I'm only going to give you $400,000. Take this little $400,000 and let me see. Steve didn't get him any serious money.
Right. No.
He didn't give him any serious money, but this was his play money.
Yeah.
And let's see where it goes. That's very powerful. Very powerful. What about the NFT space? Because I think the NFT space is more interesting because it's tied to people's businesses now, and they're making money off of those NFTs, book deals, etc. It's a very interesting space. I definitely don't know all about it. I'm learning myself. And so what are your thoughts on that?
Yes. So I'm the same. I haven't delved into it as deeply. Yeah. However, I just see things on social media and all that. It still falls into that non-serious, money bucket. If you want to jump in, great. Don't let it be part of your serious, strategy and money. It's a separate account. Okay.
Yep.
Non-fungible tokens, I believe is what it's called.
Yep.
Yeah. Or fungible tokens. I would say wait and see and allow it to prove itself to you.
Got it.
That's just my personal opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
For me to invest my hard-earned money, I need some track record. I need to know who's running it. But the other piece is too, you can make a ton of money in a matter of seconds, right? In NFTs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and that's great, but you have to be willing to roll the dice. And I personally, at this age, I'm 57. I'm not going to roll the dice like that. But I'm not saying a younger person shouldn't. But just be careful, understand who's behind it, what it is, what the risk is. Of course, do your due diligence.
Yeah. And that's important because I think when we look at Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, they're standing at the top of the hill claiming, hold on. And everybody's coming at Charlie and Warren and saying, y'all are just, you're running
it, right?
And da. And you have to think about been in, 60 years or something like that, been in business and kind of seen and know maybe what we don't know. And so it's always about, on the other side of an investment is a person or group, right? So even in the cryptocurrency or a digital space, there's always a person on the back end,
right?
And you have to know that person, man. And so every person is always, of course, has an agenda, but you have to know that person. So,
and what is their track record? And what is their track record? And would you, I always say to my clients, when they tell me, Keva, someone told me blah, 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 the hot stock, whatever. Yeah. One of the things I'll ask them is, would you trade places with them financially?
What a question.
Would you trade places with them just, because they're doing so extremely well?
What a question.
And I don't mean by what they drive or where they live. Have them show you their investment portfolio. If you're willing to trade places with them, absolutely. Take the advice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let me ask you about this. Let's talk about investments or investing strategy. So
yes. I'm sorry. I didn't talk about stocks.
Yep. So hit me on. I'm gonna go to your stocks in a minute.
Okay. Go ahead then. Yeah.
I want to hit compounding.
Yeah.
I want to hit variable and indexing. So then from your stock approach, we can go to your institution. I want to hit that in a minute. So
absolutely.
Unpack compounding interest, unpack variable investing and indexing, because like, for instance, I had a chance to talk to some baby boomers today, right? And one of the things about baby boomers is they come up in the era where I need to see my money.
That's right.
Not necessarily have growth on my money. I just need to see it in the bank based on the era that I come up.
That's right.
So compounding interest, which is the ninth wonder of the world and one of the best things Einstein said could ever happen to you, we don't see it. And then also there's a difference between the variable investing, and then there's also a difference between the index investing, which is a big pillar by Warren Buffett and others, Jack Bogle, who created Vanguard, and so etc. So what are your thoughts? How would you unpack that and explain it to folks?
Yes. So I'm going to give an example on compounding interest this way. And I know you've seen this in your journey as a financial advisor, planner as well. Two individuals that essentially are going to save for retirement. They both start at 18 years old. Person A, for the first, let me make sure I get this right. For the first 10 years, they max out their 401k, the first 10 years. At 28, they totally stop investing. They never add another penny to their retirement up until age 65. Okay, hold that thought. Person B puts off saving for retirement until they are 40, 35, 40. They max out for the next 25, 30 years. Guess who has more money when they retire?
Who?
The person A that only invested for the first 10 years. Why? Because that money sat for almost 40 more years. Compound interest. Person B put it off for 25, 30, 35 years, catching up, right? Not a lot of time. They're going to have less. Those examples are all over the internet.
Right.
Got to start early. Just crank it out for 10 years. Let your friends go on vacation. Let them drive the Mercedes Benz.
But when you let it sit and let it go.
And just let it until you're ready to retire. That compound, I can't give a more clear example of compound interest than that.
It works. And you can still do your real estate and you can still do everything else that you have going on. But you're talking about this one account when you start early. I saw that Fidelity now has a program that allows you to go in with your children once they hit 14 years of age.
Really?
They can now have an account that's free. You just have to be the parent to fund it, etc. You can fund that account and get them investing at an early age at 14 years old.
I love that.
It's a low-fee-based account.
I love it.
So you're talking about starting early,
right?
That is a norm. Now, I know somebody in the audience is saying, Keva, well, what do I have to have? What do I have to fund? Right? What do I have to fund or put up to be able to outrun? Is it $25? Is it $100 a month? Is it $1,000? What is it? What is it annually? $6,000, 20 grand. What would you say?
Right. To get started for their young people, right?
Yeah.
So here's what I would recommend. Come Christmas time, I call it the Super Bowl of spending. I'm not saying don't buy the kids toys. I don't want to be quoted like that.
Right.
But this is something I would love your listening audience to try on. Come Christmas, if you were going to spend $400 on your children, I'm just picking a number out the year. I don't have children, so I don't have a good sense of the cost. Okay. Let's say it was $400. Decide I'm going to buy $200 worth of stock from my child in the companies I'm going to buy the toys from. That could be Mattel. That could be Hasbro. If you're going to buy them some designer things, it could be whatever the company is. So they actually are a shareholder of the companies, right?
Yeah.
That you're buying their products. Just take half of what you're going to spend, buy them some stock, the other half. Have a beautiful Christmas.
And that gets back to your stock approach, institutional approach. I remember being at dinner one night, one of my, I wouldn't call him a mentor or whatever, but he's a great friend. And the new iPhone that came out.
Yeah.
And so he said, I said, man, you got the new iPhone? And he's an iPhone guy and all Apple guy. So he's like, nah, man, but I just want people to keep on buying them. Keep buying them. Keep on buying them. I said, why is that? He said, because my stock is going right up. And
that's right.
Watch it. He was looking at his stock.
Yeah.
Because he was an owner. Shareholder. Absolutely. That's powerful, Keva. So talk to us about the stock itself and your approach on that.
Yes. So I did a little bit of homework. I know I'm going to be on the Brentley Wright Leadership Podcast. I'm going to do a little homework. So I want your listening audience to keep this in mind when it comes to stock. And this is actually a little bit of compound interest as well. I did 3 quick examples. I'll just do 2 because I want to be mindful of time. I know we need to wrap up. I'm going to give Nike, the example Nike. This by no means is a recommendation to go buy Nike. I just want to be clear on that.
Yes.
But Nike went public in 1980. It was $22 to buy 1 share of Nike. If, in fact, $10,000 was invested in Nike in 1980. Today, it would be worth $7.6 million. Now, I know 1980 was a long time ago. Folks didn't have $10,000.
Right.
But let's just say you did 5,000. That means you'd have 3.5 million.
Most
Starbucks, 1992, first went public. $17 to buy one share. Actually, I did this for a client when I was at Merrill Lynch. We bought some Starbucks, but not when it went public. $10,000 bought of Starbucks in 1992 is currently worth $3.3 million. Now, am I saying every stock is going to do this? Absolutely not.
Right.
The point is longevity in the market. You got to ride that roller coaster. That basic will never go away. You've just got to ride the roller coaster. Do you understand everything that happened from 1980 until now to that stock where people wanted to jump ship?
Let me ask you this question. Are you doing it via stock itself or are you doing it via S&P?
Via, what was the first one?
Or via S&P on the index.
Oh, S&P 500. Yep. Great question. S&P 500. Yes.
Powerful.
Amazon is going to do a stock split in May. It's huge. They're going to do a 20-to-1 stock split in May. That is unheard of. So if you currently have, well, let's say 100 stocks, you're going to have how many? 2,000 stocks when it splits. Or shares, excuse me. Shares. That's huge. And Amazon's price is going to go down to about $150 a share. Where's Amazon right now? I need to look it up. I think it's like $3,000 a share right now.
I'm about to pull it up right now.
Yeah, I think it closed at $3,200 today. It's going to be $150 to buy it.
Oh.
Don't think I don't have my calendar on June 6th or whatever the day we can trade it. I'm going to be buying some Amazon stock. Not recommending it to your listeners. I'm just saying.
Yeah. 3,200, 3,225.
The 20-to-1 stock split. And the reason why they're doing it, they just want to raise some cash. And they also want to be able to have individuals be able to afford it. That's all.
That's it. The fractional splits.
Yeah.
Microsoft did it. Microsoft did it. And to truth be told, many people don't know about this. Even your insurance companies are doing it. Prudential, Mass, people don't know about this. And you can go in at fractional investing and buy up $20, $30, $100 or more, and get you some stock into these companies. And so what you're saying from an institutional approach, that's a mind shift, Keva. That's a mind shift. That's a mind shift from a selfish pick to a being different about how you look at it now, because you become a business analyst, so to say. You're looking at the business and digressing that thing, breaking it down, dissecting it, and now look at you. Now you're looking at businesses. One of the things I love is business that go pre-IPO. I mean, what in the world? Get in where you fit in. I was looking at Rihanna's Fenty. About going public. She's got a $3 billion valuation. If that happens, you can get in on pre-public round. So it's just information that people need to think through. I love what you're saying, Keva. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
I got some other questions for you, but let me ask you this question. What is a basic time-tested formula for any person in any social economic sphere right now to get on the money train to move in the right financial direction?
Okay.
Right? Because money drives the train.
That's right.
Money drives the train. And one thing about money is that your biggest form of communication will be how you spend your dollars. Period. Right. So money drives the train. So what is the basic time-tested formula any person can use to get on the train to get in the right financial direction?
Okay, I love your questions, Brentley. Another great question. Here's what I want everyone to understand. You are in control of your money.
Yeah.
Never let your money control you. So I'm going to put it like this, Brentley.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've heard your clients say this too. I wish I could save $500 a month. Build a life that allows you to do that. It's as simple as that. Build a life, meaning expenses, cost of living, that allows you to do that. Because most individuals get their check, pay their bills. This is what I have.
Yep.
No, that's not how we're going to do it. We're going to build a life where it just throws us an extra $500 to save every month because we're managing what our costs are.
Absolutely.
It really is as simple as that. So, tracking, budgeting, that word, I know no one wants to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. Those clients that I managed their money at Merrill Lynch and Morgan Stanley that didn't look like you and I, they were millionaires because they have budgets. They just don't talk about it. You can call it a spending plan, a cash flow management plan, call it whatever you want. But if you are not clear on what is coming in and coming out and what you're spending in all those categories, you're never going to get ahead ever. Because think about it. We are on these, working, and we're wives and husbands and, building careers and fathers. And it's just so much. Most people operate, I know I got something in my account. I'm just going to swipe this. We're at the grocery store. I know I'm not, I know I'm good.
Yeah.
But does that really get you to where you want to go? So go back to your question. If you want to save $500 a month, build a life that allows you to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't stress it enough.
It's powerful. I got about 2 more questions for you. Let me ask you this question. When you talk about your team, how do you find and trust the right team to help you manage your money? How do you go about finding that team?
Yes, that is a question I get asked a lot. So I say you're going to go on to this interviewing process. So there's 3 people on your team. Financial advisor, financial planner, that's the same person. People just call it different, right?
Right.
A good CPA. Okay. A good insurance agent. Okay. Interview at least 3 people in each of those categories and tell them, I'm putting together a team and I'm interviewing for my team.
You tell them that up front.
Right. Right. You do. And, you kind of go with your gut. Everyone has different, energy, vibes, whatever you want to call it, chemistry. And then hand select the 3 individuals based on those 9 interviews, essentially.
Yeah.
But here's what's most important. I've always said this, Brentley. If your financial advisor is not asking who your tax person is, and if your tax person is not asking who your financial advisor is, you need 2 brand new people on your team. Deuces. You can't operate in silos. How can you do that?
Right.
You guys need to be talking to each other.
Yes.
So that's a good key differentiator. Separate the men from the boys and the women from the girls.
Yes. Now let me ask you this question. What questions could they ask? Because most people don't know that the advisors or your team have to operate from two camps: fiduciary, trusting, or suitability, right? These 2 different camps. So what's best for me, suitability, and again, fiduciary, but more trusting and held to a higher degree. So, it's just like, I guess for those who are listening in church, it would be like if you're under a pastor, the pastor will be preaching, but he's held to a higher standard because of he's the pastor and leading flock. So think about it that way in the context of your advisors out here in the world, etc. So what are some questions, at least 2 or 3 questions that we could ask, these advisors as well?
Okay. I'm glad you asked. There are some real good questions you can ask to separate, those that are going to hold to that fiduciary responsibility. Number 1, ask that individual, that professional, what is your client philosophy? What is your client philosophy? They should be able to essentially share how their practice works, how their business works as it relates to serving the client.
Yes.
And that should be clear, concise, and just roll off their tongue.
With
also,
ease.
With these. And someone that's going to be managing or helping manage your money, ask them what their investment philosophy is. Thirdly, and everyone doesn't like to ask this, ask how they're compensated. That is your right. How are you compensated?
Yeah.
I have one last question, if I can share.
Yeah.
When you're interviewing these individuals to be on your team, ask them how often do they meet with their clients. So let's say you're sitting in front of a financial planner and you ask, how often do you meet with your clients?
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, they shouldn't answer that. They should ask you, how often would you like to meet?
Yeah.
Because, some of these clients, not clients, these advisors, they get high and mighty. Well, I only meet with my clients once a year. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need you to meet with me 4 times a year.
And that's quarterly.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Because the more you have, the more you want to be keeping it. The more. I thought about Steve Harvey's $22 million debt.
I didn't know that.
$22 million he owed the IRS.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And so he said that in order to work it off, he had to go take every single show he did. His payment was $600,000 every month for 4 years, Keva.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Ouch.
But they asked him, how did it happen?
Yeah.
And so this is why this ties into what you're saying in regards to meeting. They asked him how it happened, and he said, well, the people who had access to my money would withdraw the actual tax bill. So if it was $623,000, that's out my account. I see it. I'm thinking it's going to pay the bill. And that's how they were stealing the money. That's how they were stealing the money.
Yeah. Yep.
So you're saying I need to meet with you to make sure you doing what you're supposed to do.
Right. We need a full update. And there's dual signatures required on any check that comes out of my account.
Absolutely.
Dual signatures, right? Not solo signatures. 2 signatures.
Neat.
I had no idea he was paying. You said $600,000 for 4 years.
He had to pay. He had this was a few years ago, but he had to pay that, and that's how he got out. $600,000. Look, check his interview out on Earn Your Leisure. I
love that. I love Earn Your Leisure.
Oh, they got it going on.
Woo, I love it.
Let me ask you this. What is your secret in getting families to talk about estate planning? What's being left behind? Inheritance. How do you get? I think you used the language family quorums.
Yeah, family financial forums.
When you are getting families together and easing them into a conversation to see what the inheritance is going to be like and what's being left behind and how to have this conversation. What is your secret?
So actually, as a financial planner, when I'm done with a financial plan and the blueprint is right in front of them, part of that blueprint is leaving a legacy for their children. So in order for the children to manage it responsibly, we got to begin to have those conversations with our young people. So let's get a couple of generations in the room to start talking about money so they become comfortable and they understand what they're going to be inheriting. Yes. Generational wealth is on everyone's, lips right now. Conversation.
It is.
Generational wealth. So it comes from essentially completing a financial plan, honestly.
Yeah.
Let me say this too, because of COVID, the estate planning portion of my practice has exploded because COVID taught us what?
Got to get it done.
That and, our mortality.
Yeah.
Everyone's, stared their mortality in the face.
Yeah.
Not by choice.
it has indexed its way inside.
Absolutely.
Very fast, and we do have to hedge against it. It's been so many deaths, and it's also helped me realize that I know you're exploding because I think about it. I had a conversation today about it.
Yeah.
Wills, trust, etc.
Yes.
This stuff is just not done. It's just not done.
Because I think too, especially in the African American community, it's like, I don't want to talk about me dying. And sometimes even when you've heard this too, I'm sure, Brentley, I ain't leaving nothing. It makes us cringe. You ain't leaving nothing.
Yeah.
And we want to know why we're not ahead as a community.
Come on.
You gotta leave your young people financial legacy. You've got to. Speaking of Steve Harvey, I don't know if you've seen this, Brentley. Did you ever see his video where he went to the hospital with his friend? His friend's grandmother was dying. And the grandmother, you got to look it up. I'll send it to you. The grandmother said, in order for your children's children to know your name is to leave them something. That's the short version of the video, but I've watched that video so much because it's so powerful. In order for your children's children to know your name, you got to leave them something.
That is powerful. I'm gonna have to I might have to put that on a recap nugget.
Yes.
What are you working on? What can we expect from you in the future? You're so busy. You have all these corporate partnerships. You're growing and you're doing it in stealth.
Thank you.
And that is what people don't understand. Some of the best people and financial advisors in the world are not the ones that are out marketing.
No.
7 doing a lot of hollering and begging you to come into the practice.
Right.
They just build great referral systems and they have businesses that you just don't even know about, and they're very fruitful. So what are you working on? What can we expect from you in the near future? Will you write? Will you do more HBCU tours? What are you thinking through?
So really what's at the forefront of what's next for me is a course that I'm going to be launching that's recorded, that you press play, and it will change your entire financial trajectory.
Wow.
Working on that right now. Absolutely. And then the estate planning piece is just, I'm really enjoying it. I hope that doesn't sound strange, but what I mean is I'm enjoying it because families are sitting down in front of me and planning for their children. Like they know their children are going to be millionaires. That is it just
put them in a different position.
Oh, it just warms my heart. Yeah. To talk about that. So really focusing on the estate planning and just getting the education out there about what it is and what it isn't and how it can be really life affirming. It doesn't have to be morbid. Yeah. It doesn't have to be morbid. Absolutely. And then, my financial planning practice, always working through that, trying to fine tune it. I'm sure you can teach me some things from a younger perspective, Brentley. Like I said, I'm passing the baton to you. I might get out in about 5 years, then I'll be interviewing you.
Hey, come on. I'll switch it around. Keep it. This how we continue to take care of your clients.
I'll be reading your bio.
That's awesome. What encouragement, even though you've encouraged through your questions so far, what encouragement can you give someone that is looking to start to get on the money train, those preserving their assets right now, and then those going into distribution phase, but not quite confident?
Okay. No, I love that. Those are great questions. So the first one is be kind to yourself if you make a money mistake. It's okay. It's just today. And make a plan of action to recover. And you've heard me say this before, Brentley, too. Make an appointment with your money.
Yeah.
Just like you make an appointment for meetings, to work out, sit down, make an appointment with your money. Be clear what is what in your household and what can essentially, benefit from a different course of action. I'll put it like that. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's so vital. I practice that. I've been practicing that for years and years and years. It's life-changing. It really is. when the distribution piece, meaning you mean from a financial standpoint?
Yeah. You'll get ready to start taking withdrawals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, got it. Yeah. So essentially, when you're at that stage, only take from your retirement what you need. Meaning, if you retire and you have $500,000, you just don't move that $500,000 into your checking account, because essentially at that point you've just put yourself in the highest tax bracket, and the tax man cometh, and he's going to want about 40% of that. So you never take a lump sum distribution like that into your personal account.
Absolutely.
My grandmama would say, you pinch off of it. Live on only what you need, meaning, and pull out only the bare minimum amount that you need. That'll keep you in the lowest tax bracket, and it'll keep the money that you leave in the account, you'll keep it growing.
Yeah.
Because most individuals look at, oh, I need X amount when I retire. Yes, that's a good estimate. But if you just pull down on it, only what you need annually, you continue to have growth even in your retirement years. So that's where people can make up, right? And then we haven't factored in Social Security, right? So there's so many ways to just be mindful of reducing taxes the closer you are to retirement. And again, just talk to a professional. That professional will walk you through that process.
I love it. Keva, you blessed us tonight. You've made us better.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad we can get this done in an hour, because I know your time is critical, and it's Friday, and this is archive. And so this is, of course, your show will be for you, and you're able to send this out everywhere you go. Thank you for everyone that has watched the live stream. If you miss it, no worries. You'll be able to go back in the archives and watch this episode 5 of Queen Madness Financial Edition with financial planner and money coach, Ms. Keva Sturdevant. It's just been a blessing. Until next time, we're going for episode 6 next week, closing out Queen Madness. And so I hope that this has been phenomenal for you. You've seen tons of value. This show was about getting in the right financial direction. It is important. Financial literacy is important. You taking control of your money is important. And we heard from one of the best in the business. And I say that not jokingly. I say that seriously. One of the best in the business, because she seriously cares about people. So with that being said, thank you everyone for watching this episode. Until next time, I'm out. Thank you, Keva, so much.
Thank you, Brentley. All the best.